Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Communications and Information Technology. What advice did he receive on any perceived conflict of interest before he took part in the Cabinet decision that led to the deferral of the requirement for MediaWorks to pay its frequency licence to the Crown?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I sought Cabinet Office advice on whether I faced a potential conflict of interest as a result of my previous association with the radio industry. That advice confirmed that I did not face a conflict in relation to this matter. Nevertheless, I made sure my Cabinet colleagues were aware of my previous association and this was noted.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Why did Jerry Brownlee lead negotiations with broadcasters around this package?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I have no idea what the member is referring to. The decision was made by Cabinet and the paper went forward under my name.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Why was it that Jerry Brownlee and his office had a series of discussions with the broadcasters before that minister was involved? Was that informal or had he reclused himself?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, the approach that I received was from the Radio Broadcasters Association, and that's the approach that the government responded to. I am aware that a number of broadcasters at different times approached other ministers about their concerns, but it was formally dealt with by me through the Radio Broadcasters Association, and it was taken to Cabinet, and all the Cabinet discussed it and agreed on the outcome.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Was 2 Degrees offered a similar arrangement for their spectrum, and if not, why not?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, no, and that is because the approach was made by the Radio Broadcasters Association, and 2 Degrees is of course not a member of the Radio Broadcasters Association because they're a cell phone company. But the important thing was that Cabinet was asked to consider the idea that because the frequencies were due to be paid right at the point of the worst recession since the Depression back in the 30s, could it make a delayed payment option available? And after discussing it, it decided to do so. I should note, Mr Speaker, that this has actually been in the public domain for the last 18 months. And if the members have got concerns about other things he might have missed, there's a website called www.beehive.govt.nz, which he might like to refer to, where he could search other press releases that he missed at the time.
The Honourable Trevor Mallard. Order.
Speaker,
The Honourable Trevor Mallard.
is the 11% interest rate available to small Kiwi ICT entrepreneurs who owe the government money, or only for foreign-owned media companies with which he has a long-term relationship?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, the point I need to make to the member again is that it was available to all of those radio frequency holders who were due to renew at that time. And it's interesting his comment about associations, because I think what the member is trying to suggest that if somebody's involved with an industry at some point in their past career, they should not be able to be in the position to be the minister in relation to that industry, which is an intriguing position, given as a former teacher he was the Minister for Education afterwards. That's right. And that Annette King, a former dental nurse, turns out to be the Minister of Health.
Order. We don't get into that kind of personal direction in answering a question. Point of order, the Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. I think we have got into that sort of personal situation. I think I was responding in kind.
No, order. That is not a point of order, and the Minister should know that. Members of this House are perfectly at liberty to ask members about perceived or potential conflicts of interest, and ministers are responsible for answering to this House where there may be any such perception. And I'll be watching very carefully to make sure that the member does not question the Minister about his personal affairs. Supplementary question, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Was he cognisant of the pending staffing cuts to TVNZ 7 when he approved this deferral for the foreign-owned company?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I just reject the assertion in the question, and that is that it was offered to all frequency holders who were due to make payments at that time, a deferred payment, which involved them paying interest and paying their payments over a period of time.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
It's a straightforward question, sir. Was he cognisant of the pending cuts to TVNZ 7 when he approved this deferral to a foreign-owned company? That was not addressed. Was he cognisant of... Well, rejected what
Order
assertion?
will not... No, order. Now the acting leader of the House should know that he does not interject during a point of order, because that's when we get into a messy situation. The Minister, in answering the question, in my view, answered it by pointing out that all broadcasters, I understand it, from his answer, had access to the deferral arrangements. So there was no, his answer, I think, implied there was no favouritism to any one company over any other. And I believe that he therefore answered the significant part of the question. And the member has a further supplementary to pursue the matter further if he wishes. The
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order. No, please do not.
The intellectual...
Order. We won't have this. Members can see when they interject like that, they're likely to cause disorder. The Honourable Trevor Mallard, supplementary question.
Was he cognisant of the pending funding and staffing cuts to TVNZ 7 when he approved this process of deferral?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, the decision was made in 2009, I would point out to the member, and it was announced in 2009, which was the point that I was trying to address. In regards to any changes in relation to the broadcasting portfolio, you'd have to address those to the Minister of Broadcasting.
Question 12, Kanwaljit Singh.